Hi, it's Enrique with Canine Perspective. Today we have Elio. Elio's starting his daycare train today. And right now he's got a prong collar on and a flat buckle. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just use the flat buckle just because I want to work with the e-collar only. Let's see. So he's a pretty big puller, but he's using the Dogtra 1900S Black Edition. And when we're fitting the collar, so when we're turning it on, we have a button here on the side, just a single one. We have two buttons here, a bumpy one and the smooth one, and then the front one is another button. So this is pager. This is the Nick button. This is the one we're going to be using, the bumpy one right here. And the smooth one is continuous, the one we're not going to be using. The difference between these two buttons is that this is like a tap, 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 and this is tap, or tap, 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 tap. That's the different amount of stimulation they provide, and this is also a little stronger, but we use this one so it gives time to the dog to think because it's more quicker. And then the front one is the vibrate only, and then this is the on and off button. So if you hold it to turn it on, hold it to turn it off. And then for your collar, you have a button on the side, same thing, hold it to turn it on, hold it to turn it off. And for this model, you have three colors, blue, purple, and red. Purple is like it's like halfway battery, and then red is gonna die. And you also have three bars here for the battery life. The battery life for this does not mean it's for this. So if you're low on here, that does not mean this is gonna be low too, depending on the light and then the bars on here as well. And we also have the top knob, so right here. And then if we go clockwise, it increases, and then counterclockwise, it decreases. So right now we're on 0. When we're fitting the collar, we want the box to be either under the left jaw or the right jaw. We try to avoid having it directly on the Adam's apple and directly above on top of the neck. And we also want it really fitted. We go by the contact points, how fitted it is, not the strap. And we need it to not move once we fit it, and because we need it really tight. Because if we find that it's moving, it's going to mess up the contact, and then it's going to kind of distract us from training, because we're going to have to keep adjusting it and finding the numbers right here. It's fitted. Yeah. He's got pretty thick coat. Okay. And then with this excess strap, you just run it through the loops on the collar, just so it's not just hanging. Right, Elio? Okay. So it's fitted. This video is just going to be covering over like the basics, such as those things, and then we're also going to be covering the working number. So what number will we be using throughout the training? It's called the working number. Before the working number, I'm going to help you guys identify like what to see along the way and what's not enough and what is the perfect. So what I mean by that is when we go up in the numbers trying to find the right number, we're going to find connection level, the perception level, and then we get to the working level. So we're going to start at 0. And when we hit the connection level, as we're going up on the e-collar to find his number, once we hit the connection, you'll see like a twitch. So that lets us know that we're making contact with the neck. The two probes are making contact. But he's unfazed. You'll just see the twitch, but he just doesn't care. And then we have another thing called the perception level, where he's feeling the twitch, but then Elio might look to the left where the box is, just kind of look or look around. So that's perception. That means he perceives it, but it's still not high enough to where he cares about it. So then we go a little bit higher, and then we get a number where Elio might, so let's say he's here, he might come around and just sit next to me. I tap again, he might lay down. It'll be a more drastic behavior change for like, for his actions. So like he might sit down, lay down, or just maybe settle. So We want the working number because that's what's going to give us the best results and faster, and it'll help him understand quicker, and it just becomes more easier. Because if we stay stuck at the perception or connection because we see the twitch, we're like, okay, he feels it. We're going to be constantly going back and forth during like these training exercises. It's going to take a long time for him to understand it, versus going to the number he knows, like, okay, I want this to stop. Then he knows how to turn it off, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and just start for you guys. Let me see. Okay. So I'm at 5. I'm going to be going up in increments of 5 and giving 3 taps. So it's going to be tap, tap, tap. That will be my rhythm, and then tap, 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 tap is also my rhythm. So 5, and we're pressing the bumpy button as well. So tap, tap, tap. Nothing, he's staring at the dog, so gonna go to 10. Tap, 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 nothing. 15. Tap, tap, tap. So there's something. I want a little bit more, so I'm gonna go to 20. Tap, tap, tap. 25. Tap, tap, tap. 30. Tap, tap, tap. 35. Tap, tap, tap. 40. Tap, tap, tap. So you guys might not see it, but on his left side there's the twitch. 45. Tap, tap, tap. 50. Tap, tap, tap. 55. Tap, tap, tap. 60. Tap, tap, tap. See what he does. Give it another tap, tap, tap. Tap. Good. So you see these drastic movements he's giving us. We're at 60. It was all normal, going up and up and up until we saw him kind of give us the reaction we're looking for. So just the caution. So I give him a tap, 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 and then he sits. Good boy. So 60. As we go along the training, it's probably going to change. It might go higher, it might go lower. That's all on Elio. Elio's the one telling me it's 60. I'm not just guessing it was 60 or anything like that. But we're also, it could be pretty high because there's a lot of stuff going on. We have a lot of dogs today. A lot of dogs in a playpen, dogs running, and the employees are walking back and forth. So maybe when you go to like a calmer setting, it could be lower, or maybe it's still 60. It's just all on Elio. But that was just a little exercise for you guys to see just how to find the working number and just taking your time with it. Once you continue training, you don't need to find it anymore because you'll have a general like idea of like what it is. But just for now, this is how you would find it in the beginning when you're training. Hi, San Miguel Kind of Perspective. Today we have Elio, our new daycare and train. In this video, we're going to be going over the heel command, which is one of the first commands we go over when we're teaching e-collar. So heel is when Elio is on my left side, right shoulder aligned with my left leg. If I take 5 steps, he takes 5 steps. If I take 10 steps, he takes 10 steps. If I come to a stop, he should stop. He should go into a sitting position. And if I speed up, he should keep my pace. And if I slow down, he should keep my pace. And then this is all done with a slack leash in any environment, and with that much focus in any environment. So that's the heel command. So when we're teaching this, what we're going to be doing is there's going to be like 3 main things that I'm going to be saying is, or doing is like the turning, tapping, and then pulling to my left. So when I walk with Elio right now, he's probably going to go ahead. So if I'm here and he's here and we're walking, I'm going to do an immediate tap and turn. And it's just going to be directly that way. So it should look like just me going back and forth in a line. If Elio decides to go to my right side, I'm going to use pressure to gently pull him back and then pair with an e-collar. I'm not going to be dragging him or anything, just pairing up the e-collar so he flushes out. And then if Elio lags or maybe like stops and doesn't want to move, I'm going to keep my movement and continue to tap, but that's if he does it, and then we'll see what else he might do. But that's the general idea, just walking back and forth. Once that right shoulder passes me, I'm gonna give a tap, turn. So if I'm walking and he passes, it's gonna be tap, 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 and then I release pressure once he comes back to my left side. So here, and for when we're holding the leash, I'm going to have the loop in my thumb and closing it, and my right hand. And then I'm going to have the leash, like I said, we want a slack leash, so we need the slack so that Elio is learning and making the mistakes so he can learn. So about right here, we have this little J here under his armpit. If we have it too low, or if we had a longer leash and we had it too low, then he's going to constantly stepping over it. If it's too close, too tight, then we're not allowing Elio to make the mistakes so he can learn. So I'm going to go ahead and just start walking this way. Tap, tap, tap. Good. So here he passed me, tap, 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 tap. Good. Good. So here, tap, 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 tap. Good. Good. Do a slow turn here. Good. So you're going to my right side, so tap, tap. Good. Tap. Good. So here, tap, 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 tap. Good boy. Tap. Good. Slow turn. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap. Tap. Good. Good. Slow turn. Good. Slow turn. Oh shit. Good. Slow turn. Tap. Tap. Tapping for him to catch up. Slow turn. So here I slow down. He slows down with me. I come to a stop. He sits. If I take one step, tap. He should take that one step with me. So here he's passing me, so tap. Tap. Good. Slow turn. Tap. Tap. Good boy. Good. No tapping there. Good. Good job, Elio. So, a few things. It seemed like he was just a bit overstimulated with everything going on. So once we kept doing this exercise, he eventually kind of calmed down. And then at one point he became sensitive to the e-collar, so I had to lower it. But then I had to go back up because he was caught off guard with the dogs again, so I'm back at 68. So you saw how we were making progress because he slowed down when I slowed down, and then when I sped up, he sped up, and then when it came to a stop, he was right at my side. I have not taught him the auto sit, so right here, when we're teaching the auto sit, it's going to be up and then tap, tap, good. So if we're coming to a stop and Elio doesn't sit, we go ahead and give leash pressure up and then tap, good, and then we release. Good boy. It won't be forever. We're going to be giving leash pressure up. It'll just turn into a tap so that once he gets the idea, if he doesn't sit or if he's distracted, all we have to do is tap and he should recognize the image or where the position he's at, and he'll just be like, oh, this looks familiar, I'm gonna sit, because this is what we've been practicing. What else do you do? So I'm not using any words right now. I'm just giving the foundation for him so he can understand how to turn the e-collar off. So with the other command that is paired with this is the break command. So when you're practicing this, you need to have a word to release him from this command. So he's in the heel. So if I want him to go potty or whatever, you can use your word, whatever. If you have a release command, just go ahead and keep using it. But for now, I'm just going to be using the word break. So break, and then he's free. And he can do potty, smell, run, do whatever he likes, be a dog. And then when you're ready to walk, you just start walking, and then give a tap, 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 tap. Good. And then you start your walk. Tap, good. Tap, tap, good. Good boy. Also, when I was doing, or vocalizing, I was doing a slow turn. That is when he's paying attention. So if I'm walking and I start to go slow, he's paying attention. So I just did a slow turn just so I can come back here. I only did the immediate sharp turns when he passed me. So if Elio's passing you, tap, turn. If Elio's keeping your pace, just do a slow turn, just to let him know that something's gonna change. So we're gonna slow down, and then we're gonna turn, and then he should turn with you. If you're turning and he's kind of stuck, like here, just go ahead and give a tap and keep your movement. It's really important to keep your movement in this exercise during the heel. What else? What else, Elio? So here, up and tap, tap, good. So right here, you can already kind of see he's calmed down a lot. And there's some shaking and then the heavy panting. It's just because this is a lot of discipline for Elio, because he was pulling and really overstimulated. So once we start this exercise, he kind of calmed down a little bit, right? Good, and then break. Hi, San Miguel Canine Perspective. Today we have Elio, a new daycare and train. This video we're going to be covering over like the part 2 of heel, so like how to turn, and just letting Elio know, or giving him body language to let him know something's going to happen, or like, you know, just helping him with the heel. So in the first video we discussed just walking back and forth, teaching Elio the heel. So now this is going to be more of like the handler teaching the handler how to teach Elio, or to like let him know something's going to happen. So, for example, we did a lot. We're going to do a lot of turns. So, how would we let Elio? We're going to be turning. So similar with cars and traffic. So, if you're driving and you're approaching a stop sign, or you need a stop, you would start to put your brakes on, and then your brake lights flash, or they come on, and the driver behind you should see that and know, okay, he's braking, so I should brake too. Same thing here. If we're walking and Elio is keeping our pace, or let's say we're walking for like a long time at a certain pace. If we just stop, he's going to keep going because he didn't know. and it's pretty much, it's unfair for him. So same thing with driving. If you're driving and you need to stop and you just stop out of nowhere, the car behind you is going to crash. So to signal Elio, if we're going a certain pace, we slow down, and then he should slow down with us, and then we stop, and then he should sit. And then, so that's just like the basics of like the turns before turning. And then another thing we're going to be adding is the word heel. So when we say heel, we say the word first, and then we start with our left leg. And we're always going to start with the left leg so that it's like the visual for Elio, for heel. So I'm going to do a few heels and stops for you. So heel, left leg, good. Slow turn. Tap for the lagging, tap, 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 tap. Good, I'll dip down. Good boy. Good. Now I slow down, and then I stop. Good. Heel, left leg. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Do a slow turn. Now I slow down. He slows down with me, and then I stop. Good boy. One more. Heel, left leg. Tap, 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 tap. Good boy. I slow down. Do a slow turn. Good. So I'm speeding up right here, and I slow down. Good. Good boy. So heel, left leg, and then slow down before stopping. And then we're also going to be slowing down before turning. So for the turns, when we do a left turn, it's the hardest one, so we're going to cover that first. We're going to be starting with our right leg. I'm being very sharp. So heel, left leg. So when we're doing a right turn, we slow down. Right, left, right. Good. Tap. Good. I slow down. Right, left, right. Tap, 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 tap. Good. I'll do it again. Right, left, right. And if you bump Elio, that's fine. You're just teaching him kind of like boundaries with the heel. So I slow down. Right, left, right. And they're very sharp turns, almost like military, like marching band like. So I slow down. Right, left, right. Do one more, or two more, or one more. Right, left, right. If I slow down before the turn, and Elio's not slowing down with me, it's just going to be a correctional turn. So if you try to do the left turns when Elio is not going your pace and you try to force it, what will happen is you're going to be kneeing into Elio's like chest, side area. And when you do that, Elio's probably going to flip out and it's just going to be a little messy there. So when you slow down, he slows down, you can proceed with your turns or your stops. If he does not slow down, so he's passing you, you're going to start tapping and then do the correctional turn back the opposite way. So for the right turns, it's going to be very similar to like the slow turns and the correctional turns, but we're just going to be taking our time with it. So it's going to be heel. So we're going to be turning right, tap, good. I'm going to extend my left leg, go back on my right and back on my left, tap, 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 good. So I slow down, left leg, right leg, left leg. I slow down, left leg, right leg, left leg, tap. Good. I slow down, left leg, right leg, left leg, tap. Good. One more, or two more. Left leg, right leg, left leg. Good boy. Tap, 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 tap. There's some resistance there, so right here. Left leg, right leg, left leg, tap, tap. I'm gonna slow down to a stop. Good boy. So right there, that he kind of started to go like he didn't want to do it anymore, so he went to shut down. But it's a good opportunity to show how to get through that. It's just to keep your movement and keep the pressure on the e-collar. So the right leg, the right turns are pretty easy. Just pivoting to your right. So it's just you're gonna go left leg, bounce back to your right, and then go the other way. So now we're gonna do a little mix up. So left turns and right turns. So heel. So I'm gonna do a right turn, right, left, right. Good. Another right turn, slow down. Right, left, right. Good. I'm gonna do a right turn, slow down, left, right, left. And then when you're slowing down, it could be 3 to 4 steps. So 1, 2, 3. Good. Tap. So I'm gonna do a right turn, or left turn. Right leg, right leg. Right leg, right leg. And then I slow down to a stop. Good boy. So those are the turns. So using the word heel for left leg. So heel, left leg, slowing down before it turns and stops. Just signaling to the dog. Signaling to the dog that something's going to change. So when you want to practice these, starting off your walk, give him a potty break first, let him release himself, and then whenever you're ready, cue the word heel, start walking, start tapping. If you cue the word heel and then you start walking and he doesn't recognize the word, don't repeat it, just start tapping and moving. And then once he's in the heel, go ahead and just practice 5 left turns, 5 right turns, and then you can proceed with your walk. Just a little warm up before you start your walk. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. You shouldn't be tapping during your turns unless he just decides to sit there. Since we're moving too slow, he might think we're stopping. So just tapping and bringing him over or continuing your way that way, and just keep your movement as always. Don't pause or just wait for him to figure it out. Just keep your movement and start tapping. Hi, San Miguel Camp Perspective. Today we have Elio, our new daycare and train. In this video, we're going to be going over the stay command. So I'm going to go ahead and put Elio on a heel, and I'll come back. Heel, left leg. Do a little left turn here. Good boy. Tap. Good. Right, left, right. Good. Tap. Good. Now slow down to a stop. Yeah, good boy. So, and then also just for the video right now, as we've been going along the training, he's dipped down to 35. When we first found the working number, it was 60. But 30, I'm getting the appropriate reaction from Elio. So here in this video, we're gonna be going over stay command. So right now, Elio is in a heel, but he's in the sitting position. So if we want him to stay here, it'd be, we can't really say sit because he's already sitting. So this is when we use the word stay. So when we're using the word stay, he's to stay in that position. So if he's laying down and then you cue the word stay, he should stay laying down. If he's sitting, he should stay sitting. So when we're teaching this, we're going to be using our left hand to wave across Elio's face, and then we're going to be pivoting out with the right foot. Stay, pivot out with the right foot, and face Elio. And I'm having my leash like this, tap, tap, good. I'm having my leash like this to give the space where I have him and to assume he's gonna break it. So if I had this, he has all that leash to come to me, versus here I want him to learn to stay there. So I'm going to do a little walk around, and if he gets up, what I'm going to do is pause. So pause my motion, pull up, and then tap until he puts the butt back down. Good boy. Some praise. Yes, you good boy. Good boy, Elio. And then go back to a heel because he's in the stay command. So heel, left leg. Come on. Good. Right turn. Good boy. Slow down to a stop. Good boy. Stay. Pivot out with the right foot. Face him. Good. So that's fine. He moved, but he's just, if he like moves, so if he's sitting and he moves kind of like this, but his butt's still on the ground, it's fine. That will soon go away. He's just very focused in what I'm doing. Good. Good boy. So I'm giving praise here. He's still in the stay command. What I'm going to do is pivot out again and see if he holds it. Good. Good boy. I'll do it one more time. Heel, left leg, tap, 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 tap. Good. Do a left turn here. Right, left, right. Slow down, 3 to 4 steps to a stop. Good. Stay. And you don't need to walk slow. You can walk your normal pace just so he gets used to it right off the bat. And if you're going to switch directions too to confuse him. Good. Good. Good boy. Yeah, so he only broke it once. Again, since he's not breaking, I'm going to go over it again. If I'm walking around him and he decides to stand up, I pause, I pull up, and then I start tapping until he puts the butt back down, and then I can proceed with another walk around. Good. So when we're practicing this, what you can do is start your walk with the heel. Typically, owners usually go for 3 walks a day on a normal day. When you're doing your heel, and let's say you come to a stop sign or a stoplight at the crosswalk, you can come to a stop with Elio, have him in the sitting position, and then wave the left hand, pivot out with your right foot, face him, do a little walk around, and then give him praise, and then continue with your walk. If for some reason, let's say you are going to give him a potty break, so you approach the grass and everything, break, he goes, does his thing, you put him back into a heel, come back around, issue the stay, go and pick up his mess, throw it away, return back to him, give him praise, and then continue your walk. How else do you? Oh, so another way we do is if we're going to take the dogs on a training walk, which is to Home Depot. Before the main aisle, we have the side aisle. So when we come to the side aisle, we go ahead and issue the stay. We pivot out, look both ways to make sure traffic is good and there's no heavy machinery coming through or any other dogs as well, because sometimes dogs could be in Home Depot. And then also one last thing. When I say pivot out the right foot, we're using the right foot for stay, left foot for heel. So in advanced training, know where it's said. If we're walking, we stop and we go with the right foot, the dog stays. If we're walking, we stop, we continue with the left foot, the dog continues to walk. So when we're using the right foot, left foot, it's to help Elio differentiate what is which. So if we were doing the stay and I went out with my left foot first, since he keeps seeing that image when he's in heel, he's gonna wanna move and follow me. So the right foot is just to help him differentiate what stay and heel is and when to stop, when to move and when to not to move. Right, Elio? Good boy. He did good though, right? Break. All right, so to make it kind of perspective, today we have Elio, our new daycare and train. In this video, we're gonna be going over the place command. So I'm gonna go ahead and get our object. Elio, he's on break right now, so. So we're using a lifted dog bed. A lifted dog bed, so for the place command, once it's cued, so if it's Elio place, he goes to the placemat and then he's not allowed to hop off the perimeter. He can chew on a bone, lay down, sit down, stand. He just can't do anything the owner disagrees with or hopping off the placemat. So that's pretty much how the place command works. You don't need to use this object. You can use anything from a towel to a yoga mat to his own dog bed, just as long as it has a clear perimeter for him to see and just to know what the difference is between going off and on the placemat. So we're going to start low since we're teaching something new. Go down to 40. We were at 50 for the last session. So we're at 40. And what I'm going to do, know where it's said, just creating the foundation. I'm going to have him put my foot here in case he decides to go on and then go off, and I won't give him the chance to move the place mat. So what I'm going to do is pair a leash pressure with the remote. So here's leash pressure. Tap, tap, tap. Good. So I release pressure with this, which is the leash and e-collar. I release it once he's making his way to it. Good boy. Good boy. Break. Repeat it again. So here, leash pressure, tap, good. Good boy. Break. Break. Yeah. Good boy. Tap. Good. Break. Yeah. Good boy, Elio. So leash pressure. Tap. Good. Good. So he's starting to get the hang of it. Just with the leash pressure alone, he's able to flush out to the placemat. So now what we're going to start doing is just doing e-collar only to see if it's the e-collar that's making him go to the placemat and not the leash. Break. And what I'm also doing is rotating around the placemat, so he's getting exposed to all sides, because if I keep practicing in one area, if I change it up and go in the other side, he might go around and come to place on the side we've been practicing on. So here, I'm going to just start tapping, and then if he's having trouble, I'll result to the leash. What we're not doing, and what you'll see me not doing, is bringing him all the way to the placemat. Break. So I'll go in depth in that once I start increasing my distance. So right here, give a tap, 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 tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Break. So if I'm here, I'm going to start tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Good. So what I do here is I plant myself here and I use the leash to push him that way. I'm not dragging him, I'm not walking to him there. I want him to figure out that, or I want him to know, to do it himself. Good boy. Break. Tap, 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 tap. Leash pressure, tap, good. Good boy. Good job, Elio. Break. So what we might see is him trying to go there before I start tapping. So here, tap, 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 tap. Good. Good boy. Break. And for the break, if he's not going off or he decides he wants to stay there, just go ahead and use leash pressure to pull him off. You don't need a tap or anything. So here, tap, tap. Good. Good boy, Elio. Break. Do just a little bit more. Tap, tap. Good. Lower it. Tap. You can crate them. They've been out for a while. What? You can crate them. Break. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Good boy. We'll do one more. Break. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Leash pressure, tap, tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Good boy. So he's still, instead of going to the place, he'll tend to like lay down. So just keep repeating the leash pressure and just keep guiding him. But that's just like the first part of place. It's a send off, getting the dog comfortable with feeling pressure, and then realizing that when he goes here, it turns off. So now we're gonna start adding the word place. And it's gonna look like place, tap, tap, tap. If nothing, I go ahead and use my leash to help him to the placemat. To the placemat. Good boy. So right now, Elio's doing the part 2 of the place command, which is the duration of just staying on there. Break. Good boy. Good boy, Elio. So here. Good. Place. Tap. 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 Good boy. So now I'm going to do a little duration exercise, like similar to the stay command, where I walk around, having my leash in my hands ready in case he were to hop off. If Elio does hop off, I will pause, start tapping, and he should retract, which means like if he takes a paw off the place command, he should retract it back to the placemat. If he's not, I'll go ahead and use the leash pressure to guide him back. Break. Good boy. So I stop before the placemat. Place, tap, good. Good boy. Break. Place. Tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Good job, Elio. Good job. Place. Almost. So here's a tap, 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 tap. Good. Break. We'll do one more. Place. Tap, tap, tap. Good job. So he's making progress. Still a little, like he'll move there, but then he'll stop before the placemat and lay down. But it just takes some practice getting comfortable with descending off to the placemat. So when you're teaching this for the first time, you want to start like how I'm doing it, baby, like just like very close to the mat, going around, exposing to all sides of the placemat, and then slowly increasing your distance, still going around. And this can be with any object, like I said in the beginning, yoga mat, a towel, his own bed, or even like a couch, a chair maybe. And then when you start doing the send-off and everything, and you're good, if you want to work in duration, what you can do is set his towel, bed, whatever you're using next to you. Cue the word place, have your remote, have the leash with you, and then you can like watch a movie, or you know, if people are working from home, you can go on your computer and he's next to you and you have your leash and he's just relaxing there. The amount of time he's working on duration, he can, right off the bat, we're going to put him on the mats for a few hours, just so he's getting the duration in. If you want him to be consistent and good with like 3 hours on his place, you want to practice for 4 hours, so just making the 3 hours easy peasy. And when you're practicing, so the bed next to you with the leash and e-collar in your hand is one way to practice. Another way would be, so here at the facility we have our columns and then a tether. So we give enough leash for the dogs to make the mistakes. So we'll be down here, I have his remote, I'm training another dog, and then I can correct as needed when he hops off place. What else? If you find that Elio's maybe chews on his bed, or let's say he's chewing on his bed, or you want to correct him for something he's doing while he's on the placemat, if you tap him, he might hop off because he's thinking it's the placemat. So you're going to want to keep that short leash on for the beginning stages to clarify for him, no, stay on the placemat, just don't do this said behavior. So having your leash, start practicing when Elio's close to you on his place command, and then once you see some, consistency and he's good with it, then you can start, increasing the distance and having him far away with the short leash on still, and your remote. Our clients usually use this command when, if you have a guest over and they don't like dogs, but Elio knows place and he can keep his distance. It keeps them comfortable because they're thinking, oh wow, they have control of their dog and they're over there. It's good. So this is a command that's good for that situation. Or if you're going to go to a restaurant, you can bring a towel with you, cue the word place, and he should stay on that towel while you're at the restaurant. That's the Recap Camp Perspective. Today we have Elio, our new daycare and train. In this video we're going to be going over the down and sit command. So down has the implied stay with us. So once we cue the word down, Elio should stay down, and until given another command. That's when he knows it. We're not going to be focusing on duration right now. We're going to be focusing on just getting him comfortable with going in the down position with pressure. So I'm using his flat collar right now, and I want to put him in a sit just so it's easier. Good. And what I'm going to do is, no words said, just creating the foundation, having the leash like this, and I'm going to step on it and using my right hand to pull up so there's pressure or tension pulling him down, And I'm going to pair that with the e-collar. I'm going to start low. Good. So here, so I'm pulling, tap, tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Oh. So again, he's sitting, left foot on the leash, pair it with the e-collar when the tension hits, so tap. Good boy. Good boy, Elio. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Break. A sweet dog, Elio is. Elio. Good. Tap. Tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Yeah. What's up, dude? Good. Tap. Good. Break. One more. Tap. Tap. Good. Good boy. Break. So he's starting to get the hang of it. He's going down pretty easily from the start. So what I'm going to do now is use the word down. Or actually, there's another way to teach down. Sorry. So we're going to use our hands, and we're going to put pressure on his shoulders. So not pushing down, but putting it in an angle like this so he can fold easier. Because if we're pushing down, his arm is straight, so it's just going, straight. If we go in an angle, it's kind of pulling him back, and then he should just fold. Good. So here, I'm massaging the shoulders. I'm going to go in pressure, and then tap. Good. Good boy. Break. Do this a few times. A few more times. Tap. 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 Good. And I'm not using that much force. It's just guidance. Break. The e-collar is the one that's making him go down, not me being forceful with his back or shoulders. Good. And I have my leash set up like this, pulling away in case he were to kind of like panic, and so he can't go to my face here, so I'm already pulling that way. So here again, tap, tap, good. Good boy. So those are the two ways to practice the down command. Like I said, we're not going to be worrying too much about the duration part of it, just getting him down, but we can already see he's good holding it. So break. So now what we're going to do is apply the word for him. And the word is down. So when we cue the word, I'm going to start tapping. And if he's having trouble, I'll give him either the shoulders or step on the leash to help him out. Down, tap. Good boy. Good boy, Elio. Break. Good. Down. No tapping. Good boy, yeah. Break. Good. He's not in the heel, so I'm going to be correcting from him passing or anything. Down. Tap. Tap. Good boy. Yes. Good. Break. Good. Good. down, no tapping, good boy. So he's understanding the concept of it and the cues, which is good. So that's the down command. So now we have the sit command. So when we're teaching sit, it's going to be similar to the auto sits. So when we come to a stop and Elio's not sitting during his heel command, what we had in the video was pulling up in the leash and then tapping until he puts the butt down. So here he's in the down command. We might see some confusion and him wanting to go back down since we've been drilling the down so many times, but here's how to teach it. So it's going to be sit, up, and then tap, 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 tap. Release pressure. So here, tap, 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 tap. Good. Good boy. Break. So here he's kind of just standing. So Elio, sit, tap, release, good. And then you can do some duration too with the sitting command. Good. Break. So here he's going to be standing. Sit, tap, good. And then release. Good boy. Break. Good. Sit, tap, good. So once I say the word sit, immediate pressure up and then pairing it with the E-collar. So sit, up, tap. Once I start to see Elio start to put the butt down, I go ahead and release tension on the leash just to let him know that he's doing the right thing, just the pressure on and off system. So he's just recognizing pressure's on. When I'm told to do something, I'm not doing it, pressure off once I comply. Down. Good, good. So when practicing the down duration part of it, same thing with like, what you can do is, have him go in the down position, the down command, have your leash here, step on it, and then watch a movie. If you're working from home, you can work on your computer while he's down. And just as long as you like for this, so keeping your leash and E-collar on you so that you can correct him as needed. For the sit, you can do like the push-ups, like down, sit, clarifying for him. You might see some confusion in the beginning. So we recommend you just doing one thing at a time. So for example, if you're struggling with the downs and then you introduce sits in this one session, then it's going to be a little messy versus focusing on downs one session, then focusing on sits in the session so it's more clear and he's able to retain it more after the session's done. If he breaks the down or any command, we don't repeat the command, we just correct it. So if he were to break the down right here, so if I'm walking away, so right here, I'm gonna start tapping, tap, 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 good, good, good boy. So when he breaks it down, immediately start tapping, and then once he goes back into the sitting position, which he should go to, then we continue tapping until we see him going into the down. If you notice he's about to go down, stop tapping, see what he's going to do. If he stops mid, continue tapping and then help him with either shoulder pressure or you can step on the leash as well. But again, we don't repeat down if he breaks it. We don't repeat down when he breaks it. Just go ahead and correct it as needed. What else? And also we don't need anything fancy. So before he was like rolling on his back, it's fine as long as he's just going down when we say down and he stays down once cued. Right, Elio? Break. Hi, San Miguel Canine Perspective. Today we have Elio and Andy helping out. Elio's our new daycare and train, so in this video we're going to be covering recall. So we have two things right now. We have a 30-foot long leash and Andy's got the short leash. So when we're handling the 30-foot long leash, we like to put the thumb through the loop like this, close it, my e-collar will be in my right hand, and then my left hand is the one that's feeding the leash through. So when I'm feeding it through, I'm just letting it go to the ground. And then whenever I'm ready to stop reeling it in, I'm gonna go ahead and use my pointer finger to lock it. So if I'm reeling it in and it's at a good spot, doing like this motion, closing it. So then just to limit the what is it? The next 30 feet for Elio to pass you. So when we're reeling it in, we're shortening his options so he doesn't, use the rest of the 30 feet to go the other way. So then when we lock it here, it's just to stop him from moving and just having him in the 1 and 2 feet vicinity range of me. So the short leash is just to keep the distance and the separation from me and Andy. The long leash is just to make it happen, and obviously to create the realistic, like long recall distance. So go ahead and go to the wall. And I'm gonna go ahead and start low, since we're teaching something new. And we're gonna start, no words. I'm gonna give leash tension on my long leash. And then once once I start saying tap, you can go ahead and drop it. So here's tension. And then with this tension, we're gonna be pairing it with the e-collar. And then once Elio is making his way to me, I'm gonna take 3 to 4 steps back and then hold once Elio is coming and see what he does. And we'll go from there. So here's tension, tap, tap, good. So here, 3 to 4 steps back, I hold. I'm gonna tap to speed him up, tap, dip down, good boy. So here, he's leaving me, wait. Drop it. So here, I'm gonna face him and then tap, good. So he's going to Andy, tap, 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 good. I hold. And then here, for the recall, we want the dog to come and then sit. So here, up, and then tap, good boy. And then break. And we're not saying any words yet, just creating the foundation. Good. So here's leash tension. I'm at 23. Tap, tap, good. Good. See what he does. So here, move back, tap, tap, tap. Good. Good boy. Yes. Good. Break. Cool. Cool. So leash tension, tap, 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 tap. Good. I hold. Good boy, Elio. And then break. So here's tension again. Tap, tap, good. Good. So now we're gonna change it up. So here, tap for the sit, tap. Good boy. Break. So now we're gonna change it up. It's just gonna be tapping first, then leash pressure, 3 to 4 steps back. And we're only giving leash pressure now if needed, if he needs help. So here, there's no tension. Tap, 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 leash tension, tap, 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 good, tap. And I hold. And tap for the sit, tap, good boy. And break. Good, so here, no leash tension, just the tap, 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 good. Good. Good boy. Break. $27 right here. So here, tap, 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 good. Good boy. One more, break. Try 34. Tap, 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 good. No leash tension there to get him to move towards me. So here, I'm going to give a tap, tap. Good boy. Break. So now we're going to use the word, the cue, which is Elio, come, tap, release tension, pressure if needed, and then 3 to 4 steps back, and then holding, seeing what he does. Elio, come, tap, tap, good. So here, I face Elio, move back, tap, tap, and then I hold, see what he does. So this is too far, tap, 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 good, I hold, tap, perfect, yeah, good boy. And then break. $37. Elio, come, tap, good. Tap. Good boy. And then break. Cool. Elio, come, tap. Good. Tap, just to speed him up. So he's passing me here, I face him, tap, tap. Good. So right here on the camera, you see him just going the opposite way, so tap, 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 tap. I hold, see what he does, tap. Good boy. Break. 2 more. Oh. Good. Elio, come, tap, tap. Good. So we'll cap it here. Thank you. So a few things. Break. Come on. A few things. So we started off with leash pressure and then e-collar, and then e-collar, then leash pressure if needed, and then recall. So it was Elio, come, tap, 3 to 4 steps back, leash pressure if needed. And when Elio passes me, I turn, face him. Again, tap, 3 to 4 steps back, hold, see what he does. If he passes me again, I just take my time, tapping, moving back, and adding leash pressure if needed. So when we do the Elio come tap, it's going to be like that in the beginning, because what we don't want is a scenario where you're out in the environment and you call Elio, and if he's not coming right away, but then he decides to come and you tap when he's coming two things can happen: shutdown, or he might run the opposite way because he's thinking he's doing something wrong. So then when we started from the beginning, Elio will come tap and he gets confused. We're able to force that to happen and just to make it clear to him that, okay, when I get tapped when I'm coming to you or I'm doing any command, it just means to keep following through with the command so there's no confusion there. The setup we have, the two handlers here, is unrealistic because when we're calling our dog, it's usually when they're in motion or running away or just, in motion. Not when they're stationary with another person, such as this, but this is just to create the foundation of the recall and just to show you how it works. So if you're by yourself, you want to go into like an open field, have your 30-foot long lead, break. He's allowed to, let him roam around, and then whenever you're ready, Elio come and, do the exercise. If he's got prey drive, like if he likes squirrels, or if he, let him chase a squirrel up a tree, and then let him get lost into it. And then when you're ready, Elio, come. This command will take you the longest to practice because it requires you to go somewhere and to practice there. So like, for instance, if you had a backyard or like you live next to a field, it'd probably be easy to create the foundation and practice the recall in a bunch of scenarios because you're in the, you're next to a field and there might be squirrels running around all day, every day. So then that's just the one problem with it. But, when you go to the open field or if you're going to a place, it's best to not practice recall back to back. So, maybe go to the park or the field, do a recall once for the day. The next time you go, don't do recall. The next time you go, do 3 recalls. The next time you go, don't do any, and just making it inconsistent. So if you drill the exercise too much, what can happen is if you go to the field, you say break, you might have a hard time having Elio release himself and then going to play and roam around because he's thinking, well, when I go out to the field, they're just going to call me, so I'm not going to go into the field. So if you're practicing, don't drill out too much. If you're by yourself, let him roam around, do a recall for the day or for that session or the session. If you have a partner you can do this with, go ahead and practice this exercise the same way we're doing it. So Elio, come, tap. The 3-4 steps back is important because it's the visual for Elio. So for example, if you're at a loud environment and you're calling him, he can't hear you, so you just start to tap, and then he sees you. Once he sees you move to 3 to 4 steps back, he's going to recognize, oh, that's recall. I know what that is, and he should start making his way to you. Having your long leash for the first few times you're practicing this, just so you're not in a situation where you can't make it happen. So always have the long leash to make it happen. What else? That is, so if you're using the long leash, it can get messy. So if Elio's coming to you and you see him kind of get tangled in like an arm, so like I say like one loop, and he's a little bit distracted, work him through that because it's a distraction. So we want him to recognize that even though it's distracting, you still need to come when called. Obviously, if it's wrapped around really good and there might be an injury, take the time to unravel it for that. But try to work him through as much as you can with the distractions and the environment you are in.